And let's talk about some things from the Rams perspective. All right. They lost Robert Woods, and that was big, right? They just signed Odell Beckham. You're like, wow, like Odell, like Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's having an amazing year. Like Robert Woods, oh my gosh, how are you going to defend all these guys? You also have like a Van Jefferson. And boom, Friday at practice, Robert Woods tears an ACL, which is crazy. Like it's just the timing of things. Now, again, my I feel bad for Robert Woods. I feel bad for Robert Woods. I feel bad for any player that loses a season due to injury. But it is what it is. So now the 49ers don't have to worry about Robert Woods. And it's unfortunate for him. It's unfortunate for the Rams. But if you're a 49er fan or you're a 49er player, it's not unfortunate for you. That's one less guy over the next 2 times that you play them that you have to worry about. All right. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. You know, he is from California. Love it. So what now? They also have Van Jefferson. And I think Van Jefferson, terrific receiver, young receiver out of Florida. He's more of a good route runner. He's been able to contribute. He's one of the reasons why they were able to let go of Reynolds, the receiver. And obviously with Cooper Kupp having so much on his plate, he's doing so much. Then also you have, you've had Robert Woods. Now Odell has to kind of figure out how, where does he fit in? And I think actually having Robert Woods helps a guy like Odell. All right, it helps a guy like Odell get more touches. All right, now they acquired not only Odell Beckham, but Von Miller as well. How does Von Miller affect the 49ers? Now, you got the 49ers who they're trying to figure it out at right tackle. And I think right now we might miss Mike McGlinchey a little bit more than we expected. Grass ain't always greener on the other side. So you don't have Mike McGlinchey at right tackle. You do have a rookie, Jalen Moore, who in college played left tackle. People thought maybe he played play guard in the NFL, but in college, left tackle, Senior Bowl left tackle, did some guard stuff. So, he definitely could be like a swing tackle guard guy. When Trent Williams went down, it was Moore that came in and played left tackle. And he did well, right? He started the game at left tackle, was fine, right? Wasn't like a big issue or anything like that. Also, in practice, every Wednesday, Trent Williams does not practice. All right, Trent Williams does not practice on Wednesdays. So Moore plays left tackle. All right, now, with right tackle, it's totally different, right? It's different footwork, right? Like everything is flipped. So as Peacock said last night on Locked On 49ers, the way someone explained it to him was it's like somebody that wipes their butt with their right hand. I mean, with tissue in your right hand. Wipe your butt with your right hand. Use your right hand to wipe your butt. And then trying to use your left hand. And how like awkward that is, right? Or I guess you could just say, you write with your right hand and all of a sudden you write with your left hand. Like it's just different, right? Just different. Everything is like kind of backwards. It's flipped. So Jalen Moore has had to transition to right tackle with the injury of Mike McGlinchey, who's out for the year. And in the process, for Tom Compton there. I know a lot of people were upset about Tom Compton, and they were like, this is not good. He's getting beat like a drum, which I still didn't go back and watch specifically him, but that's what they've been saying. So you do have Moore who has been getting those reps. He's getting more comfortable. I guess he's strung together a couple good practices at right tackle. So he will likely start. I think he'll start tonight. And in your first game, you get to go against future Hall of Famer Von Miller, right? And this is one of those, and I don't know if this happened to y'all where your dad just throws you into the deep end of the pool and sees if you can swim. Well, I couldn't swim, so but it worked for my brother. My brother ended up swimming. You're throwing more into the deep end right now and seeing if he's going to swim when your first game is against Von Miller. And not just Von Miller, who typically rushes off the right side of an offensive line, but you got Aaron Donald on that line. I feel like with all the additions that the Rams have made with Matthew Stafford, with Odell Beckham, Von Miller, we talk about Jalen Ramsey a lot. Aaron Donald's the forgotten one, and he's probably the best player in the NFL. He's most impactful. Now, I get it. Brunskill has done well against Aaron Donald. That's probably what people are hanging their hats on. But a little scary. I'm not going to lie. Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. To me, there's just so many playmakers. And I think that's the part, and we'll get into the 49ers, where I feel like the 49ers are missing right now. Really kind of what's going on. Like, where's the playmakers on the defensive side of the ball? Well, the Rams have plenty of them. And they can wreck a game at any time. And that's scary. At any point, like Von Miller could just beat somebody around the edge and strip sack a quarterback. At any point, Jalen Ramsey can either get an interception or knock a ball away and force an interception. At any time, Aaron Donald can force a fumble, sack strip, all these things. So they have these guys that at any point in the game can affect the game, man. And that's scary because the 49ers, who do they have that's the guy? That is that guy. I think that's what the 49ers are struggling with right now defensively. Who's going to take away the ball? And when you look at 49ers wide receivers against the Rams defensive backs, the way that they've been using Jalen Ramsey this year is different than years past. I actually just put out a video on my Twitter account. Let's see if I could. I think even if I share it, I don't know if it'd be a big enough photo. But so let me go back. Yeah, even if I share it, I don't know if it'd be big enough on the screen for you guys to see the play. But in 2019, Jalen Ramsey lined up on the right side against George Kittle. At the snap, not the snap, excuse me. The 49ers motioned George Kittle over to the left side. Jalen Ramsey followed him. So that would lead you to believe that this is some sort of man coverage or even maybe a match. Well, as soon as this ball was snapped, Jalen Ramsey kind of sunk off into like this nickel roll and played the eyes. 49ers had a deep out route from Emmanuel Sanders, I believe it was. Jalen Ramsey robbed it. Jimmy never saw him. All right. And it was just a great play. It was good. It was good stuff from the Rams. Well, now Jalen Ramsey plays more in that nickel spot, and he can affect the game in a bunch of different ways from that spot. They don't just have him a guy that follows guys around now or shadows guys. He's going to blitz off the edge. He's going to cover from the nickel position. You know, he's playing that star role, but essentially it's a nickel. He's like Kawhi Williams, but if Kawhi Williams never came off the field. All right. And at times they will do some things to put him on the outside to have him man up. But it's tough to say, will Debo just flat out line up over against Ramsey? You know, I don't think so. There will be times when we see that matchup, but I don't think it'll be consistent. Now with Debo Samuel, he's more of a just get the ball in his hands type guy. He's not just the purest of route runners. He's not just the biggest separator or anything like that, but it's just get the ball in his hand, right? Whether you just throw it deep, where, it's a deep crosser, a quick slant, things like that. Like, he's not really a technician when it comes to route running, and that's not his skill set, but he wins the way that he wins. I think the way that Debo plays into the hands of Ramsey. Now, saying that, last year with, Ramsey on the Rams, Debo Samuel had 200 yards in 2 games and like 17 catches. So there's still an area where Debo can get off and be very productive, even with Ramsey out there, because they're not going to do things where they just put Ramsey solely on Debo Samuel. Now, let's say they do. Let's say they do put Debo Samuel or Ramsey on Debo, and it's just like, all right, I'm going to shadow you. I'm just going to take you out the game. All right. But who's going to guard George Kittle? Who's going to guard Brandon Ayuk? You're going to need those guys to come along. I strongly believe that this is a George Kittle game. This is a Kittle game. I think this is the game where Kittle really, last game he had over 100 yards. This week, I think Kittle can do it again. He's kind of a forgotten guy. When you think of the tight ends and Kelsey and big guy from the Raiders. Why I keep want to say Warner. Y'all know what I'm talking about, number 83. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. Waller, excuse me. But Kittle's a forgotten guy, man, and he's good. He's a really good football player. Clearly has to stay healthy. But I think this is a Kittle game. Now, again, I don't think it's going to – the keys to victory that we did on Locked On 49ers was that the 49ers you can't hurt yourself. You can't hurt yourself. And that's been the issue. The 49ers continue to hurt themselves. They continue to shoot themselves in the foot. They continue to find different ways to lose games. You can't find a different way to lose games this week, to lose this game. You just can't do it. But that's who they've been. So I was just talking to somebody. I tweeted it out. All right. And it basically was about, being like disappointed. And with me kind of, I don't want to say lowering my standards, but just knowing that, people are who they are. And that right now, I guess with the 49ers, they might just be who they are. So one of my guys, he basically had tweeted out that, he says, the biggest problem is he gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I have a problem with that too, giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. But also, within giving people the benefit of doubt, I understand the human element of things, right? So I said, it's really hard to disappoint me because I don't have expectations for other people. I see how people move. I realize what they are or what they aren't, and I believe that. And I love people for who they are, good and bad. And if something goes wrong, I look at myself, what I could have done better in that situation. I think right now the 49ers are telling us who they are. And the 49ers have been telling us that they're not a good football team. And I'm because of what I am, who I am by nature, I want to see the good in the 49ers. I want to give the 49ers the benefit of the doubt. I want to give the 49ers the benefit of the doubt to say that, hey, they can, the 49ers can win this game. Somehow, some way they can win it. If they don't do this and they don't do that, like, if they do this a little bit better, if they, protect the ball. But at the end of the day, maybe the 49ers just are what they've shown me to be. And as a team that will find different ways every week, especially when they're playing against a good opponent, to beat themselves. And it's tough, man. It's a tough pill to swallow because coming to this season, I'm pretty sure we could all agree on the fact that we thought the 49ers were going to be a good football team. And I feel like it's in there, but they got to figure out a way to get it out. And you got to string it together. And they've done well against some other teams, but those teams that the 49ers have beat aren't really good football teams.